I'll turn the fan off in a second. I wanted to show you guys what it's like when there's an update. So we had a software update last night, and you can see what's new. There. Whew, it's silent now. I'm at a full charge, just FYI. Here we are. There's a Rivian navigation. They did a big change. They finally went all in with Google Maps. I personally didn't have a huge issue with their Rivian version of it, and I thought they were going to stick with it, but it is kind of nice that they're using something much more robust. Obviously, Google Maps, one of the first major players. So we're going to go ahead and accept. First thing, it's loading up here. See if I notice any major differences. Let's do this. That's showing me the charging stations. Yeah. There's a Rivian, the ones that are branded. Obviously, Rivian Adventure Network is on there. You can select them up here. Tesla, ChargePoint. I just have Tesla and Rivian lit up right now. I find those are probably the two strongest as far as speed. Let's see, what else is going on? I'm seeing traffic down here in LA. There's a shocker, but it's kind of cool where traffic is noticeable now. I can push in even further. Let's see how much detail we get. I click on that. Looks like a road closure, but I don't see any. It's not giving me much. Okay, I don't know what that's about. Whoa. Recenter. Functionality-wise, very similar. There's the entire United States. We have Canada, those of you in Canada. Let's see, do we have, oh yeah, look, it's showing charging stations there. I'm sure we can get into some of these areas if I push in a little further. Yeah, that seems to work as well. There's Ottawa. Okay, so we got that going on. All the charging stations, and it also shows the Adventure Networks. Here's one in Buttonwillow, California. Yeah, I mean, I personally, there was a feature they were supposed to do eventually, I thought, which is include weather, which I think it'd be super cool. I don't even know why Google doesn't do that. It would be really incredible to see some weather patterns, how weather affects traffic, give you stronger estimates, wind, all that stuff could take, is a factor. That'd be kind of nice. So I think if we get into what is new, I'll go to the settings, vehicle. Oh, there, updates. Okay. This gives me the breakdown of everything that's been done. So again, the Rivian navigation with Google Maps. Google Maps has primarily taken over what Rivian had. Again, I kind of liked Rivian's version of it in some ways. It was not perfect. So routes and live traffic, real-time road incidents, tappable points of interest, although like that blocked road didn't really do anything. So again, I'm sure it's still work in progress. Not everything's dialed in. Search powered by Google Maps. We could try some of that. And satellite imagery with a Connect Plus subscription, which I have. And then some driver improvements. They went through the Go Chime. Got updated, introducing new vehicle dynamics, and so the suspension, they tweaked all-purpose sport, rally mode, and rock crawl. That would have been nice to have, when I was off-roading. Personally, though, I really have not experienced any issues at all with the handling. I still think it's incredible what this thing does. It's rock solid. Rivian Adventure Network now has off-peak pricing, so I think that's a big thing. Which is nice to see them make that, more in line, I think, with what other charging stations are doing. And then additional improvements. This is something, too, like the climate control. I don't know if that's a thing that they fixed, but specifically, the issue that I was running into is you would turn it on. If I just do this briefly, so you click and hold, turn it on, or I go into the menu. Right now it's kind of loud. So even on low, I just found it would, there, you do this, and I felt like I had to turn it off auto. Auto would just be blazing really loud. If you do this and low, I mean, I think what it's trying to do, because it is a bit warmer in the car than 67, so I think it's trying to get me quickly to 67. Then I'm hoping the sound will come down. But when you first get in the vehicle, that's why I'm kind of yelling right now. I feel like I have to. With all this wind noise, it's just kind of annoying. So, yeah. I also get some complaints from when my daughters sometimes are in the back seat. There we go. There's change up the airflow. Even with this active, they find it's just not as strong back there or cooling. So hopefully that tweak that they did does make somewhat of a change with the climate control and cool down. So we'll see how that progresses. And there are some other changes in here too. You can pause the video and zoom in if you'd like. None of these though, I feel like are really game changers. You know, maybe they've done some improvements with the driving, but in general, I was looking for something more fun and interesting, like I said, with the weather. That's kind of what I'm looking for. And they do say the traffic and accidents are more up to date. I don't know what I'm going to see if I push in, you know. This is kind of what they had before. Yeah, so restaurants probably. So we could go here to Irvine and let's just type in food. Stop that, FOOD. Yeah, see, that's not what I wanted. I wanted it to search over here. So it looks like it just does your local area. I typed in food Irvine and it took me to wherever this is. But I couldn't search that area easily. I think it seems like you have to be there to search, which I find unfortunate. I don't know. It's okay. I think all they did is they just basically flipped to a more updated map, which is Google Maps, right? They're the most, I think, well known other than Apple. So yeah, a little bit of a disappointment. There's some cars here. If I click on that, does it do anything? It doesn't do, it's not giving me a lot, guys. I give it a C or a B. It's probably a B because it's got probably more latest updated maps like I stated, but in general, that's about it, guys. That's all I got. I'm gonna call it. It's an okay update, but that's the experience. That's what it's like when you get in your car and there's been an update, just if you're curious. And then again, you can go and you can look at vehicle and updates. You can see the data there. I do love though that this thing updates quite every month. Every month you get a fresh update. So yeah, maybe this one wasn't that amazing in my opinion, but in general, it is just so much more, Rivian's so much further along than most American made EVs or even cars at that matter. They care about their all of their technology and software that drives the car. That's a wrap. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.